Incorporated. This is the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Jamie Meloni.
Hi again, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker, and you will find this show on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. Got a great show planned for you guys today. In studio today, I've got my co-host and newest expert contributor to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show, Malcolm Tennant with Access Reverse Mortgage. Malcolm, how are you doing today?
It's doing great today, Jamie. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also on the second half of the show, we're going to be talking all about roofing with Anissa and Ryan Westfall of Westfall Roofing. And you definitely want to stay tuned for that, as we're in the rainy season right now, and a lot of people are having some problems with the roof. So you definitely want to stay tuned in and listen to what they have to say. I want to go ahead and introduce my co-host, Malcolm. He's a branch manager of Access Reverse Mortgage Company, and since 2005, Malcolm has overseen the funding of well over 1,000 reverse mortgages. He's a member of the Pinellas Realtor Organization and Area Agency on Aging's Better Living for Seniors. He's also a member of the Financial Planners Association and Florida Association of Mortgage Professionals. Malcolm, thanks for coming on the show today.
Well, thanks, Jamie. It is very much my mission to get the word out there on reverse mortgage program. It's really a great product, and there's a lot of misinformation we see on reverse mortgages on a constant basis. So this is a great opportunity for me, hopefully, to correct some of that, what we hear that's just not accurate.
Yeah, I mean, there was an article in the Tampa Bay Times this weekend about reverse mortgages, and I want to discuss that with you. But before we get to that, tell me a little bit about what a reverse mortgage is and how they work.
Well, a reverse mortgage is very simple. It's something the same as a traditional mortgage. You borrow money, you get a statement in the mail each month, just like with any other mortgage. A statement will tell you how much interest you owe and how much interest was charged the month before and how much you owe, the balance of the loan. The big difference with a reverse mortgage, when you get that statement, you don't have to pay anything. So when you get your statement the next month, the balance has gone up a little bit because they've added the interest from the prior month to your loan balance.
Now, these are designed as basically for like a financial plan for seniors. They're eligible for people that are 62 and up, and they're designed for people that have equity in their home, correct?
Right. You need to have at least about 50% equity for this to work for you. But that's right. It is a product for 62-year-olds and over. We're seeing actually 62 is the most common age for a reverse mortgage borrower these days, as the financial planning industry has come around now and recognized that the baby boomer generation has most of our equity tied up in real estate, and it's going to be a necessary part of our financial plan for retirement. So the reverse mortgage is a good way to achieve tapping that equity. Okay,
and with a reverse mortgage, you're not making payments on the mortgage. The equity is essentially paying yourself, correct?
There's two types we see. If you have, say you have a 50% mortgage on your house now, where you owe half of the value, so we can get you a reverse mortgage and pay that off. So now you're not getting any income, but you no longer have a mortgage payment the rest of your life as long as you live in the home. The other side of it is somebody has a free and clear house or a very low current balance on the mortgage, and that's the situation where you'd see you could get a monthly payment or a line of credit to tap that money that way.
Now, I was reading in the newspaper, the Tampa Bay Times this weekend, and there was an article on the front page of the newspaper titled Complexity of Reverse Mortgages. And, you know, the article puts a negative tone on the role that reverse mortgages play in retirement planning, saying that they are complicated products that many do not understand. What do you say to this about the complexity of a reverse mortgage? Are they that complex?
As I said earlier, they're very simple. People tend to way overthink reverse mortgages. The article in the paper on this weekend was very typical of the press we get. You're dealing with seniors and you're dealing with finances, so it just makes great headlines.
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the reverse mortgage on its face is very simple. There are complex rules that it's important that people research and understand exactly what they're getting into. But there's a mandatory counseling requirement with a reverse mortgage. The counseling's done by reverse mortgage experts who work for nonprofit agencies. I mean, the research is available out there. I would say that people who go into a reverse mortgage at the time they do it understand what they are getting into, and no, they're not complex.
Now, the homeowners that are discussed in the article are now facing foreclosure as a result of their reverse mortgage, stating they did not understand the product. Now, from what I took from the article, they're going to foreclosure not due to the reverse mortgage, but rather for failing to pay the insurance on their home. Elaborate on this, please. I mean, you can't lose your home to foreclosure with a reverse mortgage unless you fail to pay your taxes and insurance. Am I correct?
There's only a few circumstances where you could face foreclosure. One of the basic ones is you have to pay your property tax and insurance. You have to live in the house. You can't sell it. You have to maintain the house. But beyond that, you really can't get foreclosed on. It's you have to pay your condo dues or homeowner association dues would be another. The example in the paper is a tragic situation. This I really feel badly for this woman. She just lost her son. Her husband's gone into assisted living. She's in a very bad situation. But if you read the article, her problems really don't come from the reverse mortgage. They did a refinance on a loan in 2007, and they were behind on their payments. So they were in trouble already on that. They got a reverse mortgage, got them out from paying a mortgage payment for 7 years now. They haven't had to make a mortgage payment, but they failed to pay their insurance in 2009, 10, and 11, and according to the judge, they're still not paying. Well, there's no mortgage lender in the world who's going to let you go 5 years and not pay your insurance and not foreclose on you.
Yeah, and I felt, the article kind of took a negative tone with the headline, but then failed to prove, its point in the article. And from, what I took from this, failure to pay insurance is the reason the foreclosure, not because of any complexities of the reverse mortgage situation. And that's true with any mortgage. If you don't pay your insurance, you're going to get a force-placed insurance policy put on it. But ultimately, if there's no insurance, a lender is not going to allow for a mortgage on a property. Now, also, you had mentioned to me this week that there is a new home equity conversion product. And when I say home equity conversion mortgage, that's just another name for a reverse mortgage. Tell the audience about this new product that's out there.
Yeah, this is actually pretty exciting. We offer fixed-rate reverse mortgages, but most of the ones that most reverse mortgages done today are adjustable rate. The adjustable rate is based on LIBOR, so it's tied to a pretty stable index, but there's been a maximum 10% swing in the adjustable rate historically on reverse mortgages. So today, I can give you a reverse mortgage with a rate of around 2.1%. But that could go to 12.1, and that's a scary prospect. Not that you can lose the house, but just that the debt could accumulate at such a tremendous rate. We've just got a new product which is virtually identical to the 10-point maximum swing. It's got only a 5% maximum swing. So this loan can go from, it'll start out at the same 2.16% today, but it can't go any higher than 7.16%.
Okay, so reverse mortgages right now are at 2.16%, you said?
Right.
Okay, that's very interesting.
On the adjustables.
Okay, and now are there fixed rate products as well for reverse mortgages?
There are. The fixed rate is, lowest fixed available is 4.25%, so it's quite competitive. The fixed rate programs have some drawbacks that they're appropriate in some situations, but not all. So we write both. I should mention that FHA charges a fee of 1.25% annually on the outstanding loan balance. So when I say it's a 2.16% interest rate, effectively the cost of money is about 3.4%.
Gotcha. Okay, well, that's Malcolm Tennant with Access Reverse, one of my expert contributors, and you can reach out to him through my website, www.tampabayradio.com, and we'll be giving out his contact information more at the end of the show. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 WINS WHNZ. Back in a moment.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Thinking about buying a home? Find out how the HUD Home Store can help you. Visit HUDHomestore.com. Look at HUD homes available for sale near you or nationwide. Why HUD Home Store? HUD will pay up to 3% of the buyer's closing cost. The price of the home is based on an FHA as-is appraisal, which is already completed, saving you an average of $400. And there is an owner-occupant priority bidding period during the first 30 days. Want to know more? Visit HUDHomestore.com.
Since opening its doors 120 years ago, Stewart Title Company has established a lasting legacy of providing professional title services. Even other title insurance companies know Stewart Title Company because they do their actual underwriting for them. Stewart is here to provide a wide range of resources to help improve any real estate transaction. To learn more about protecting yourself against hidden title hazards that may threaten your financial investment, call Melissa Stoddard at 813-431-8025. That's 813-431-8025. At Fifth Third Bank, a wide variety of choices is available so you can find the mortgage loan that meets your financial needs. Factor in competitive rates, flexible terms and conditions, and fast closings. And these are some of the best solutions around. Whether you just ended a residency or are a longtime physician, the right fit for you can be found at Fifth Third Bank. For a no-obligation, free credit analysis, call Robert Paradis today at 813-300-7218. 813-300-7218. You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned in to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Joining us here in studio just now, the lovely Stella Giudicelli, fellow real estate agent with Coldwell Banker. Stella, how are you doing today?
I am excellent. How are you?
Doing great. She's a regular contributor to the show as well, and she recently just produced a video for the Tampa region, modeled after the Happy video from Pharrell Williams, and got a lot of great press and everything, but you had some issues with it this week. Elaborate on your experience with your video.
Yes, a week ago, the video pretty much disappeared from YouTube. It was there, but we couldn't view it. So I had a little bit of a panic time, and you were in the office with me for maybe half an hour. I panicked because,
but they pulled it down for copyright or something. They blamed you for,
right?
How did that take shape?
So I looked into things, and then I realized I had a copyright notice, and of course we didn't ask for anything. We did the video as part of a worldwide trend. There's hundreds of thousands of videos, so we didn't think we needed any copyright authorizations. And it's just great because it just allows me to understand how YouTube works. But they do go through to the videos, and if you don't have what you need, they would take your video down. So they did that for a week, and then it reappeared magically on YouTube. And I think it's because Pharrell Williams' crew just authorized everyone to use the song. And they did add a little icon on the side whereby if you want to buy the tune, you can. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what they needed. But it took us a week. What was difficult is that there's no really any communication. There's no way to get any information to understand what's happening. So
it's impressive your video got noticed. I'm sure a lot of people have stuff up there. It probably shouldn't be up there for one reason or another. But your video was so well done, so well produced. I mean, it looked like something that could be on one of the video channels, and was that well done. And you're up to like 6,000 views for the Tampa Happy video.
More than that. And actually, I have also Sarah Blakely.
Yes.
She's the youngest self-made billionaire of the world. She's the owner and creator of Spanx. And I was there at the opening of her store at International Plaza. So we are in the process of asking if she would like to be on the video, and then we'll add her on there, and it'd be great. And I'm asking also the mayor of Tampa if we would like to be on the video. So if we have the both of them, I think it could be really an achievement. And Sarah is from Clearwater, so she's from our community as well. So let's see what we can do.
And give the audience a quick tip on how to find the video on YouTube. It's probably pretty easy to find, but how would they find it?
Very easy. You go on youtube.com, and in the search engine, you type Happy Tampa.
Happy Tampa. And you're up to, 6,000 views now, right?
Yeah, 6,300, knowing it was down for
That's very
week.
impressive. How's your detox business going? I know you're big into juicing.
I'm always
detox.
happy when you ask me, Jamie, because
Yes.
I always feel like you have a little bit of interest and you just want to do it.
I'm just interested, and I just don't see how people can even do that type of stuff. So I always like to see how, hear a little bit more about yourself and this stuff.
Yes, so we are 50 people this month from Spain, France, UK, Canada, all around the USA, and I think we are 29 from Tampa to do a 3 or 5 day vegetable detox. I don't know if you've seen the movie called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, but that is a documentary that was made by Joe Cross from Australia, and he went on a juice detox for 2 months. He had a chronic disease and for years, and so he went on this, and he became his sickness, his illness disappeared totally, and then he looked great, had vitality, energy, and on the way on his trip in the U.S., 2 other people joined him and did a detox. So I took this video and this documentary as an inspiration. On the website, they give a detox that you can do. And so that's what we're all doing. We're doing Joe Cross detox for 3 or 5 days.
And this is just like a support group that you do, right? And you seem to be doing these like every other week or something.
No, I know people have said that before, but it's really every month. And it's just so much more fun to think you're doing a detox with another 49 people from all around the world. And, we're on YouTube and we talk about how we feel and what's happening. And really, I had a friend the other day who was asking me if there's any rehab center for people who are addicted to vegetable detox, because you do get addicted to the vitality that you gain by, replenishing your body for 3 or 5 days of all of the nutrients that it really needs. Like, it's an experience that you only achieve, and the level of vitality you only achieve when you juice.
Interesting stuff. And for people out there listening that are interested in this, she's always looking for new members and participants in her group. How can they find you, on the internet? Where are some of the places that you?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give you my telephone number. It's 813-503-8431. Again, Stella, 813-503-8431, and then you can call me and I can discuss with you how it works.
Oh,
and I'll get you on the train.
Very interesting, and thank you very much for the information. I always love to hear from you and the stuff that you're involved in. So very inspirational to, myself, even though I don't, participate. Maybe someday you'll get me to actually participate in it. I don't know.
I have hope.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So. Another article in the Tampa Bay Times this weekend, Hillsborough property values are up for the 3rd straight year. And this, when I'm talking about values, we're talking about taxable values here. And we saw an increase from 2012 to 2013 of about 5.79%. That's the 3rd year of value increases. Last year, the year before last, it was up about 5.29%. And the prior year before that, about 1%. South Tampa and waterfront homes have seen the most benefit. And so with this increase in taxable value, we're going to see more revenue coming into the Hillsborough County system. And about 30 million of that or so is estimated to be coming in from the increase in taxable values. The sheriff's office will see about 7 million of that, and 3.5 million of that is going to be set aside for county maintenance projects. But some great positive news from real estate coming out here in the Tampa Bay Times. We're also seeing increase in taxable values in the surrounding counties as well. Pasco County seeing a 3.75% increase in taxable values over this last year, and that's their first increase since the recession. And Pinellas County has had 2 years of positive growth with a 5.6% increase in taxable values over the last year. So some good news and stuff, coming out of the Tampa Bay Times. Following up, with a little bit of a negative article, though, and something that I'm experiencing right now in the market. That Tampa Bay home sales are starting to fall at this time. So we've seen a run up in values over the last couple of years, but with a lot of that has been due to strong investment activity from institutional investors, mostly based out of overseas and in Wall Street. We've seen sales have declined each month for the past 4 months, year over year. And like I said, a lot of this has to do with the investment demand is starting to wane. Investors came into the market very strongly in 2012 when values were at their low point, and that is, in my opinion, the bottom of the market at this point. Our peak of the market was in 2006, and we've seen values decline about 50% all the way down until 2012. And for the last couple of years, we've seen them steadily increase. And I say we were anywhere between 10 to 20% increase in values, depending on the region of Tampa Bay. The strongest demand being in the New Tampa, southeastern Hillsborough County, and the subdivisions. There was strong demand from the investors for the rental, buy and hold rental strategies, and but they've pushed the values in those communities anywhere from 25 to even 30% in some of those communities. But year over year, we're seeing these investors, start to become more picky in the marketplace. And just year over year, 40% of the sales were cash driven this past year, and that's down 10% from the prior year. Also, new home builds are down 70% year over year, and foreclosure backlogs, are at about 38,000 in the court system. And so those are a lot of uncertainty there with, regards to what they call the shadow inventory. That's the available inventory that's out there from people that have not, been making their payments on their homes and are eventually going to come into foreclosure. And I've been, reporting on my show for the last, since I went on the air back in September, the new law that's took in place in Florida about last June, that was signed into law by Governor Scott, Florida House Bill 87. That's speeding up the foreclosure process, and they're clearing out about 2,000 a month in backlogged foreclosure cases. And so the inventory has been building, since probably 2013. We're seeing a steady increase in inventory. We saw probably a record low in available inventory, probably around the end of 2012, beginning of 2013. In Hillsborough County, for example, we're down at about 4,000 active units on the market, which is extremely low. That represented about a 1.5 months supply of inventory. And we're now at about 6,000 or 7,000, and we're probably around about a 4-month supply of inventory. A healthy market should have about 6 months of inventory. And to give you kind of a baseline, when I started in real estate back in 2007, that's probably the absolute worst time to start real estate. The available inventory in Hillsborough County at that time was 16,000 units. And so, I've seen a lot of change and a lot of, stuff happening in the real estate market in just my 7 years in the real estate business. But, some good news there with values increasing. But again, I think we're starting to stagnate with real estate values. So if you're considering selling your home, now is the time to get that home on the market. You don't want to wait here over the next year. You may see values begin to decrease as demand is starting to wane. And so anybody out there in the real estate, Tampa Bay real estate market looking to sell their home, I offer a free home valuation. Just text the word value to my cell phone, 813-760-8516. Again, text the word value to 813-760-8516. You've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 WINS WHNZ. Stay tuned after the break. We're going to be talking with Anissa and Ryan Westfall of Westfall Roofing. So please stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
When my son started having behavior problems, the total transformation techniques were like the instruction manual on how to deal with him. We got immediate results.
Do you wish your kid came with an instruction manual? When he's disrespectful, defiant, or even abusive, do you know how to fix it? I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman, and I'll show you how to change your child's behavior with the Total Transformation, the program that helps you fix every behavior problem under the sun. There's no screaming, no fighting, no frustration. The Total Transformation is the program my husband James used for over 30 years to solve even the worst behavior problems. Your child will listen to you again, and you'll get peace and sanity back in your home. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you.
Call now, 1-800-894-8166. 1-800-894-8166. That's 1-800-894-8166.
Hi, your house here.
What?
No, really, it's me, your house. We gotta talk.
Seriously?
Yeah, look, did you know I'm wasting your energy and money?
Oh, the electric bill.
Exactly, but Tampa Electric can help.
Really?
Sure. Just call Tampa Electric for a free home energy audit. An energy analyst will come over and inspect my ductwork and insulation.
For real?
Check windows and doors for leaks. Exactly. examine heating and cooling systems. Look at all the places I waste energy.
Wow.
The analyst will recommend energy efficiency solutions and even offer you rebates. How cool is that?
That is cool. Hey, wait a minute, House. Have you always been able to talk?
Yup.
Then why didn't you?
Didn't want to creep you out, man.
Uh-huh.
Get your free home energy audit and start saving energy and money at your house. Call Tampa Electric today at 813-275-3909 or visit tampaelectric.com/save. Tampa Electric, the power to save you money.
Need AC? Call Simpson Air, the coolest guys in town. Log on to thecoolestguys.com.
This report is brought to you by TrueCar.com. In the market for a new car? TrueCar.com will save you time and money. Go to TrueCar.com and find out what others have paid for the vehicle you want. With over 1 million cars sold through the TrueCar Certified Dealer Network, save time, money, and never overpay. Shop TrueCar.com today.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, the interstates are in good shape. We're problem-free along 275 throughout Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. Watch out for a reported accident eastbound along Columbus Drive east of Nebraska Avenue near Owen Street. And slowdowns in Pinellas County with a crash along 38th Avenue north at 4th Street. Minor wreck reported along Tampa Road at McMullen Booth. See a problem on the roadways? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
12:50 winds, Weather Center forecast. Highs in the upper 80s, near 90 this afternoon. We'll see no more cloud cover today than sunshine. And chance of rain about 40% for scattered showers and thunderstorm activity. Into the evening, could expect to see a few of those also. Lows down into the lower 70s. The next couple of days, less of a rain chance, about 20% for Tuesday, Wednesday. Back up by the end of the week, though. Temps throughout the week in the upper 80s, near 90. And just a bit cooler on Friday. Could see closer to mid-80s. All around. Wall Street, Dow's currently up 21, Nasdaq down 9, S&P Index flat, Dow to 16,739. 1250 wins, WHNZ.
You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 wins, WHNZ. You'll find my show on every Mondays at noon, so please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate markets. On the second half of the show here, we're going to be talking all about roofing, and with the weather the way it is out there and the stormy weather, you definitely want to stay tuned in and get some great tips here from Anissa and Ryan Westfall of Westfall Roofing. Anissa is an accomplished marketing strategist with over 10 years of experience in marketing multi-billion financial and membership brands. As the marketing director for Westfall Roofing, Anissa is responsible for the company's brand and all marketing tactics associated with new customer acquisition and retention. She is responsible for developing a marketing strategy as well as executing an on-time budget and tactical plan for the company. She's here with her husband, Vice President and Sales Manager of Westfall Roofing, Ryan Westfall, and he too is an accomplished business strategist with an acute acumen for growing top-line sales. His keen vision and actionable tactics have driven Westfall Roofing to grow sales since 2009. As the sales manager, Ryan manages all sales activities, including residential roof replacements and commercial projects. He also manages new construction, builder accounts, property management, and HOA accounts. Ryan and Anissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Jamie.
Now, your company is family-owned and operated and has been in business in the Tampa Bay region for over 20 years. Tell the audience and myself more about your company and its history.
Sure thing. So my family business, actually, I'm kind of the newcomer. I'm the in-law coming into the business. It was started back in, 1989. But prior to that, my father-in-law, he started in the construction business, working in new construction primarily. He was the superintendent for a large builder here in the community. He opened up his own business in 1989 and focused primarily in roofing. Obviously, we had some bumps in the road, and he had to shift business strategy along the way when it came to the recession and the housing crash in 2009. At one point, he was building homes and from the ground up, but right now we're back to roofing and focusing on roofing in this year. And
your company comes with a lot of great credentials. I see you're rated A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And some Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, correct. GAF Master Elite Contractor. Elaborate on those last two, what those mean.
Yeah, well, it certainly comes with a lot of work, right? I mean, in 30 years in business in the Bay Area, we take pride in the fact that we live and work in the community. So, when we're driving around in neighborhoods, we can say, hey, that's a roof we did. And so that's important, I think, in a roofing contractor, is that they take pride. So I think that's reflective in with the Better Business Bureau and other resources like Angie's List. We've got a lot of great customers throughout the year have said some kind things about us. As far as the manufacturers go, so we in the manufacturer world, there's three major manufacturers. There's Owens Corning and there's GAF. These are the shingle manufacturers throughout North America, and they have elevated statuses for contractors, or preferred status, if you would. You kind of have to go through some triage of different requirements, but we are grateful that we are both a platinum preferred contractor for Owens Corning and a master elite contractor for GAF. Basically, about 3% of all contractors in the Bay Area can be designated as that. You have to have a proven track record, and so with both of these, we are very proud of these distinctions.
Very good. Now, elaborate for me on the different services your company offers.
Well, first and foremost, we obviously replace residential roofs. We also do commercial, and we also will install solar tubes. We do attic insulation. We do also do gutters and siding, soffit, fascia. So yeah, we do a number of different things. And
now, when you say solar tubes, is that like solar panels, or what is that exactly?
Basically, it's like a skylight. Is the best way to put it.
Okay.
And but yeah, we do anything on top of the roof. It's basically is our primary focus.
Okay, so I see skylight and solar tube installation. I've never actually referred to them as solar tubes, so it's actually something new for me. Maybe others out there are more familiar with it like that. But yeah, so it's just basically a skylight when you say solar tube.
Basically, yeah, it looks like one of those can lights that you have like on your ceiling in your house.
Interesting. Now, the roofing system of a home is probably one of the most important components of the home. Minor problems with a roof can lead to major problems down the road if not addressed timely and properly. First, let's talk a little bit about the roofing lingo. What is a roof pitch?
Roof pitch is basically just the slope of the roof. Everyone in grammar school remembers rise over run. Well, yeah, that's basically your roof pitch is the slope.
And I remember I used to work years ago at 84 Lumber, and I remember learning that early on. A typical roof seemed to be like a 412 pitch. Explain what that means.
412 pitch. It's basically it's just a formula to come up with the 412 pitch, and it's just basically the roof slope of the house.
If I remember right, it's for every 12 inches it goes over, it rises 4 inches.
Yeah, 1 inch of run.
So the steeper it is, the
more run.
Right. And so the roof deck, what part of the home is the roof deck?
Roof deck is basically everything that's underneath the shingles and the underlayment. It's when you go in your attic and you look up, it's the plywood or the 1x6 decking. That's
and a common thing that a lot of people don't know is when you place bids on a new roof, you don't know the quality of that roof deck. So a lot of times you're going to have to replace additional roofing after the shingles are taken off the home. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's actually kind of, you almost could say it's almost a roofing contractor's hidden cost. We try to do different things to not hit that customer with that big a bill at the end of the job. What we'll do is we'll usually go in the attic and just do a visual inspection of the actual roof decking. You can walk around the perimeter of the house and look at the overhangs and see if you see any rot on there. And actually, usually the majority of your deteriorated plywood or your decking is around the perimeter of the house. So, but yeah, we try to do as much as we can to not hit that customer with that big bill. I would say on average, probably about once or twice a year do we actually really need to redeck an entire house. But usually we know that we're going to be doing that in advance. So on average, we're probably replacing about 3 to 5 sheets of plywood per house. But there are a lot of roofing contractors out there, though, that will really take advantage of that. And we definitely do not. And it is definitely kind of like the hidden charge, and it's something to really...
so for consumers out there that aren't familiar, when you get a roofing bid, make sure you understand, in the fine print, the bid may increase after the shingles are taken off, because they really don't know the condition of the roof deck, which is the plywood that's underneath the shingles on the house. So very common, surprise that a lot of people don't understand, and something that I always try to point out to people when they're looking at roof bids.
Definitely.
Now, how long does the typical roof in Florida last?
Typical roof, depends on the area you're in, but here in Tampa, roofs last between 15 and 20 years. I always tell our customers that every year you get after 20 years is a blessing. If you go a little bit further south into Naples, you got a lot of metal roofs. You go into Miami, you got tile roofs. They all last metal roof will last you 30 plus years, tile roof will last you 20 plus years. So it kind of really depends where you're at. But here in Tampa, shingle roof lasts 15 to 20 years.
And why is it? Is it just the sun beating down on them? Is that what it is? The heat just deteriorates in the rain?
The heat just kills the shingles. It cooks them. Yeah.
Now, what type of preventative maintenance can homeowners do to keep their roofs lasting longer?
Keep your roof clean. That's very important. Whenever you go to put on your Christmas lights every year, walk around your roof and just make sure you got the debris off of it. Keep your gutters clean. That's a big thing. And keep the trees away from your roof as well. They shouldn't be touching your roof at all. And in fact, they should be cut away from your roof.
Now, I've seen violations as I sell bank-owned properties, and so I see a lot of HOA violations, and I've seen things like discolored roofs, and they want us to somehow wash the roof. You can't pressure wash a roof, but how do you treat a roof, when it becomes discolored?
Copper sulfate. It's basically a chemical clean. The only problem with copper sulfate is it will kill your yard when you spray it on the roof. And so what we do is we'll dilute it. We spray your plants. We do everything we can to not kill your yard when we're spraying your roof. But basically, it's a chemical clean. And like you said, never ever pressure wash your roof. You literally knock the years off of it when you do that.
Right. But the copper sulfate, is that for all types or colors of roofs and everything, or does that only work with certain colors, or what is that? What is that doing? Is it?
It's basically algae. It knocks the algae off the roof is what it does. So it works on tile roofs, it works on metal, it works on shingles. On shingle roofs, I think it should only be done once over the life of the roof. I don't think it's a lot of HOAs really harp on it, but at the end of the day, a roof's going to get dirty, it's going to get dirty.
Yeah, it's a I wouldn't say it's a common item that comes up on my properties, but it does come up from time to time. They'll say, "Oh, your roof needs washed or pressure washed," and they're like, well, you can't really pressure wash your roof, so that's what you do. You then treat it with copper sulfate then?
Yeah, there's products out there. There's a company called, actually it's a product, but it's called Rooficide. That's very popular. And there's even companies that really specialize in it. And that's something we also do as well, but we don't do a lot of it. And mainly because it's just, it's not something...
And does it really revitalize the roof? Does it really bring back the color pretty well, or how effective is it?
It definitely brings back the color. It makes a big, especially on a tile roof. It makes a big difference on tile roofs. On shingles, you may notice a difference. It kind of depends on the color of your roof. You know, you got a black roof, you're not going to really see too much.
And what's the cost like on something like that?
Oh, the cost. It depends on the condition of the roof. I would probably say anywhere from 50 cents to $1 a square foot.
And you're really just spraying it on with a light hose then, and you just let it sit? That's how that process works?
You can let it sit, or you also can, or you can hose it off. Typically, we like to let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll hose it off the roof. And like I said, the big thing there is your plants and your bushes. It really can do a number to your yard if you don't take that into consideration.
Very, very interesting stuff. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Stay tuned. We'll be talking more with Ryan and Anissa Westfall of Westfall Roofing. More about roofs here in just a moment.
At Fifth Third Bank, a wide variety of choices is available so you can find the mortgage loan that meets your financial needs. Factor in competitive rates, flexible terms and conditions, and fast closings. And these are some of the best solutions around. Whether you just ended a residency or are a longtime physician, the right fit for you can be found at Fifth Third Bank. For a no-obligation, free credit analysis, call Robert Paradis today at 813-300-7218. 813-300-7218. Since opening its doors 120 years ago, Stewart Title Company has established a lasting legacy of providing professional title services. Even other title insurance companies know Stewart Title Company because they do their actual underwriting for them. Stewart is here to provide a wide range of resources to help improve any real estate transaction. To learn more about protecting yourself against hidden title hazards that may threaten your financial investment, call Melissa Stoddard at 813-431-8025. That's 813-431-8025.
Thinking about buying a home? Find out how the HUD Home Store can help you. Visit HUDHomestore.com. Look at HUD homes available for sale near you or nationwide. Why HUD Home Store? HUD will pay up to 3% of the buyer's closing cost. The price of the home is based on an FHA as-is appraisal, which is already completed, saving you an average of $400. And there is an owner-occupant priority bidding period during the first 30 days. Want to know more? Visit HUDHomestore.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned in to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. We've been talking with Ryan and Anissa Westfall of Westfall Roofing all about roofs here in Florida.
I have a question for you about permits. As real estate agents, we happen to have surprises about that when it's time to sell the property. We working with investors and they tell us they've redone the roof and they didn't ask for a permit. So either we don't know or, the inspector is going to find out anyway. So could you tell listeners how it works around permits, and also what happens if you didn't ask for your permit and then now you want to sell the house? Like, what's the procedure?
Sure. And any licensed contractor is supposed to pull a permit when replacing a roof. And that's kind of a detailed process. There's first and foremost, what a roofer is going to ask for when to try to go and pull your permit is what's called a notice of commencement. And that's probably what you encounter at title time or at closing time. It's required by the county in order for us to schedule inspections and sometimes to pull the permit. Basically, what it does is it protects both the homeowner and the contractor. It has to do with lien laws. So the reason why we have the notice of commencement sign is it makes the permit and the roof replacement public record, but it also protects the contractor should the homeowner decide not to pay the contractor. It allows us to proceed with filing a lien on that house if it's not paid. And basically any contractor that does some type of permanent improvement to a house with certain dollar amounts, they have to pull permits. Now with that notice of commencement, they expire after a year. So sometimes where you're at the closing table and a title company might flag that, it's because the contractor needs to provide a release of lien.
Right.
And that's kind of the closing to the permit process. Now, if they did not pull a permit, if you're dealing with investment companies, that can get into licensing issue and can be reported to Florida regulations.
Right. And so my understanding is when that happens, that you have to tear off the roof because the inspector, no one can see how the roof was done, so you have to tear it off.
Yeah, unfortunately, with like homeowners insurance, for example, or when we are trying to close and sell houses, basically if it's like you're taking someone's word, just saying, oh yeah, we replaced the roof, but unless you pull that permit, it basically just didn't even happen.
Right, because in a permit, someone is going to come along the way and check at every stages, right?
Yeah, so every county municipality is a little different. In Hillsborough County, for example, they require 2 inspections, an in-progress inspection and a final inspection. Same with Pasco and in different areas like City of Tampa and Pinellas and St. Pete. There's a lot of municipalities, so they're all different. But your licensed contractor should be very familiar with all the different permits.
Yeah, it's selling bank-owned properties. I run into expired permits or open permits from time to time on roofs, and it's a red flag. Why was a permit pulled on the property?
And an open permit generally means that a final did not pass. A final inspection did not pass. So for some reason, it's still open.
Yeah, I've dealt with that problem many a times on the bank-owned properties. I have to clear all these title problems, prior to getting these properties closed. Now, I want to understand more about the different types of roofs that you install. The most commonly known and used roofing material is the 3-tab shingle. Tell me more about the advantages and disadvantages of this product.
Well, 3-tab shingles, it's actually it's kind of your entry-level shingle, and today, what we usually install is dimensional shingles. If you need a budget roof, you need to get just a roof on your house, 3-tab's definitely a way to go. But the difference in shingles, 3-tab, the wind rating on a 3-tab shingle is usually 60 mile an hour. So basically, this shingle can withstand 60 mile an hour winds.
That's not very good for Florida, in my opinion.
No, it's not. But I always like to point out to homeowners that when we replace a 20-year-old 3-tab roof, it lasted 20 years. They do assign a wind rating to it, but a 3-tab roof. They were installed in the 70s, 80s, and in the early 90s. They were mainly the primary shingle that was installed by new construction contractors, but that roof does last. There's nothing wrong with it, and I think, what the homeowners is missing out on is the insurance discounts and also that peace of mind that the roof that we're putting on today, dimensional shingle roofs, they usually last just a little bit longer. They're a lot more durable, whereas a 3-tab shingle has a 60-mile-an-hour wind warranty usually. Dimensional shingles have a 130-mile-an-hour wind warranty. So, yeah, for Florida, 130-mile-an-hour shingle, a lot better. And
now, the dimensional shingles, do they come with they have like a similar look, the 3 tabs, or how do they look? They have like a raised look to them when they're on the roof? Right?
Yeah, dimensional. So they call it dimensional. They get the other name for them is architectural or laminate. But basically, I think the best way to put it is it's a 3-tab shingle. It's double 3-tab shingle is the best way I describe it to homeowners. And how it looks, I almost just have to show you. And I mean, when you go and you look in your neighborhood and you just look at a roof, more than likely it's a dimensional shingle roof today and not a 3-tab.
Now, the tile roof is probably the most aesthetically pleasing roofing material, in my opinion. Talk to me about this product and the different types of roofing tiles.
Different types. Mainly it'd be the style, but you would have your barrel tile, you have your flat tile, and
you hear a lot about the Spanish tile.
In Spanish tile, there's clay tile. There's also different type of tile roof systems. But the tile roofs, the wind rating on a tile roof, and that's where we keep going back to is wind ratings. But they usually have a 150-mile-an-hour wind rating. Through the 80s and 90s, the way we used to install tile roofs was mainly with fasteners, or we would use what's called mud-on systems. Today, though, we actually use a high adhesive foam, and that actually makes a big difference because back 80s, 90s, when we were putting nails on tile roofs, that was putting holes in the membrane. And water does get to the underlayment on any roof, tile, metal, it doesn't matter. But when you had a tile roof system that had holes in it from nails back in 80s and 90s, it was a little bit more susceptible to leaking because this membrane now had holes in it. So today, to get by that, we actually started using these really high adhesive foams. So your roof doesn't have holes in it now. It doesn't have holes in the membrane, and you get a 30-year tile roof.
Then how does the cost of a tile roof compare to that of a dimensional shingle? Are we looking at twice the cost, 1.5 times?
It's about twice the cost. I'd say twice or 2.5 times the cost. And it really depends on what tile you're going with, and this kind of goes back to your styles. Where the price in tiles actually changes is the mix. Or your colors, and of course the top-notch, most expensive tile you can put on your house is a clay tile roof, and those even get shipped from Miami and Spain and everything else. And
how brittle are the tiles when people are up on the roof? Can you walk across these okay, or will you damage the roof?
You need to know how to walk on them. I think if you know how to walk on them, you're not going to damage the roof. If it's a 25-year-old tile roof, it's probably not the best idea to walk on it. But a newer tile roof you need to know where you're stepping.
Because sometimes I have to get roof inspections for my banks, and then the contractor's like, "Oh, we don't want to walk on it." Some of them will, but some of them won't. So I just hear different things from different contractors.
And there's tile roofs that I would say there's no way in the world I'm going to walk on that. But it just depends on the roof itself, and I would definitely just leave it up to the inspector and just let him, if he feels comfortable on it, let him get up there. Or if he doesn't want to, by all means, yeah.
Now the flat roof design, that's common with apartments and commercial buildings as well as some single family homes. Tell me about the different types of flat roofs that are out there.
Different type of flat roofs. There's the most common today is a modified bitumen, which is basically it's an asphalt-based product but it has more rubber in it. And this product I'm not going to say it's made to hold water, but it can, and it's actually warranted to actually hold water for up to 48 hours by the manufacturers. Typically, too, here in Florida, flat roofs actually are supposed to have a minor positive slope to it. So if you get up on your roof and you notice that you got some ponding water up there and it's over 48 hours, you should be calling a contractor because that's going to be a big red flag.
But if they're installed properly, a flat roof is just as effective as the other types of roofs then?
Well,
it seems to me it's just kind of counterproductive to have a flat roof versus a pitched roof. So.
It's about cost, though. I mean, if you want to do a nice addition to your house, it's a lot easier to build a flat roof than it is to build a big pitched roof. And but the most common is modified bitumen is what we install. We also install what's called TPO, or thermoplastic polyurethane. That's very comparable to, the best way to describe it is like a white vinyl roof. It's energy efficient. We actually put it on foam boards or ISO boards over directly to the deck, which actually increases the R value, your radiant barrier on your roof. So if you have some heated airspace and you want to cool off that area, actually going back with a TPO roof would actually be beneficial. And you might even notice that room might cool off a little bit.
Well, some great information. Now, for the audience, before we go off air here, give us the contact information for how they can get in touch with your company.
Their phone number is 813-264-5690. And
one more time, people listening.
One more time, 813-264-5690. That's our phone number.
And you have a website?
Yes, we do. Website is westfallroofing.com, and our Facebook, and we also have a Facebook page, which I think Anissa does a fantastic job managing. It's not your typical roofing contractor's Facebook page. It's pretty fun.
Great. Right. Well, a lot of great information, and thank you very much for coming on the show today. And if you're just tuning in, if you didn't catch that information, you can also get other information. They'll be up on my website, tampabayradio.com. Also on the show today, we had Malcolm Tennant with Access Reverse. He's still in the studio with us today. Malcolm, before we go off the air, we were talking about reverse mortgages in the first half of the show. How can the listenership get in touch with you to learn more about reverse mortgages?
Sure, Jamie. Anybody's welcome to call me at 727-347-0305. It's 727-347-0305. We have a website, accessreverse.com. And either way, if you call the office, speak to me or anybody that answers, we're all very knowledgeable on reverse mortgage, and we're happy to provide a no-cost, no-obligation consultation for anybody who just wants to find out more about them and research. I encourage that everybody do that, and please give us a call.
All right. Thank you very much, Malcolm. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. And again, you'll find my show on every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. Had a great show today. We had Malcolm Tennant with Access Reverse Mortgage. You just heard from him just a moment ago, and he was also talking more in the first half of the show. And we were talking with Anissa and Ryan Westfall all about roofing with Westfall Roofing in the second half of the show. Off air, you can find me at my websites, tampabayradio.com. Again, tampabayradio.com. And you'll find me here every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as this show will become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. Have a great week, everybody.